In this segment we will focus on payment calculations. Now what I have laid out here is a chart of various variables for the payment calculation. We have rate, number of periods, payment, present value, and future value. We're going to focus on two of them, but before we do that I'm going to show you how to set this up. If you go into your function wizard, go into financial, and let's go down to this payment and click on it, and you'll get a box that comes out, and the box will ask you for these same variables: rate, number of periods, and present value. You need 3 to calculate the fourth one. Future value, that will come into play if you have a balloon payment or something like that, but for right now we'll focus on the 4 variables. You need to input 3 to get 4. We're solving for payment, so therefore we need a rate. We'll click on rate, and we'll divide that by 12 to get down to a monthly number. Number of periods, 360 months. And the present value, we're looking in this case at a $209,000 house. What will the mortgage be? We've got our three knowns there, and we're solving for the fourth unknown, and it turns out to be $1,000. Now you'll notice it turned out to be a negative number. What the program assumes is that this is an outflow. You're receiving $209,000 in, we have an outflow of $1,000. You'll notice over here that I've stuck a negative before the payment. You can stick a negative pretty much anywhere in this equation and it's going to flip the sign around. I like to look at a positive number for whatever reason. It's your preference as to which way you do it. What I've solved here is the payment, just like this one. And there are the variables. When I solve for a number of periods, I have everything but G2. And the same with the rate. I'm solving for the rate, and I've left out everything but the rate. Present value, same thing. You're solving for present value. And if you need to, and you have a balloon payment or something like that, you can solve for future value. In most cases, your future value will be 0. And what we're going to focus on right now are the two, what I believe are the two most commonly used variables. You either have seen a house and say, there's a $200,000 house. What's the payment going to be? It's going to be $954. You'll notice that we had a $209,000 before. What if the house is worth $250,000? It's going to give me a payment of $1193. You can do the converse. If you are on and I'm resetting these back to where I had them before because these are all input areas. These are all hard numbers. And all my formulas I have laid out over here. If you have a finite amount of money, let's say you only have $1,000 and you're saying that's all I can afford, principal and interest only, not counting taxes and insurance, I can only afford $1,000. What amount of house can I buy? Under these variables, it's a $209,000 house. If the rates go up to $425,000, my principal value comes down to $203,000. If I can squeak out a little bit better interest rate, my principal value, my present value of $209,000 goes up to $215,000. So you can see before you even go to the bank, before you even go looking for a house or looking for a car, you can determine how much you can afford. Now with a car, you have more flexibility on the periods. You can have a 36-month loan, a 48-month loan, a 5-year loan. So you'll be changing those numbers of periods around, but the interest rate usually will change with the length of the period too. I think that's enough for today for you to absorb this, but there are great ways to find out what you can afford before you even set foot in a dealership or before you go looking for that house. This concludes today's session.